Hello and welcome. In the vast and varied world of human expression, there exists a particular quality that draws us in, a sense of the wonderfully strange, the beautifully unfamiliar. We call it the exotic. It is a term that speaks of distant lands, of ideas that challenge our perception, and of aesthetics that have evolved in isolation, developing into something truly unique. Art, in its purest form, is a journey, and today we embark on a special kind of expedition. We are not merely looking at pictures on a wall, we are peering through windows into other worlds, other minds, other times. These are not just paintings, they are ecosystems of thought and feeling teeming with life and mystery. Each brushstroke is a footprint, each color a climate, each composition a landscape waiting to be explored. The exoticism of a piece can stem from its geographical origins, a style born from a culture thousands of miles away. Or it can emerge from the deepest, most uncharted territories of an artist's imagination, a place no map can ever chart. It is this quality, this departure from the everyday, that gives these works their enduring power and their magnetic pull. So join me, as we travel across continents and through the very fabric of dreams. We will venture into 5 distinct realms, each captured on canvas, each a masterpiece of the exotic. We will uncover the stories, the techniques, and the sheer breathtaking genius that make these paintings stand out in the grand gallery of human history. Prepare to witness art that is not just seen but felt, a true safari for the soul. Let us begin our journey. Our first destination is a world teeming with such bewildering life that it seems to have sprung not from a brush but from a fever dream. We are in the late 15th century, standing before Hieronymus Bosch's triptych, The Garden of Earthly Delights. At first glance, it is a landscape, but look closer. This is no ordinary ecosystem. Here, the laws of nature have been gleefully abandoned. Strange hybrid creatures roam freely. Birds carry elephants through the sky and humans frolic inside translucent fruit-like pods. It is a spectacle of the bizarre, a carnival of the subconscious. The sheer density of this world is overwhelming. Every square inch is a drama, a miniature story unfolding. In the central panel, a paradise of sorts, naked figures engage in joyful yet puzzling activities. They ride upon fantastical beasts, feast on giant strawberries, and gather around peculiar biomorphic structures that defy any logical explanation. The scene is one of innocence, perhaps, but it is an innocence on the very edge of chaos. Bosch's vision is so profoundly alien, so detached from the familiar religious art of his time, that it feels as though it has been channeled from another dimension entirely. What makes this painting so enduringly exotic is its profound ambiguity. Is it a warning against worldly temptation, as the terrifying third panel depicting hell would suggest? Or is it a celebration of a lost pre-sin paradise, a world of uninhibited freedom? Scholars have debated its meaning for over 500 years. It remains a magnificent enigma, a perfectly preserved specimen of an imagination so wild and so untamed it continues to defy capture. It is a world unto itself, governed by its own strange and wonderful rules. From the crowded dreamscape of a Dutch master, we now travel east to the shores of 19th century Japan. Here, a very different kind of exoticism awaits us, one born not of fantasy, but of a unique and powerful way of seeing the natural world. We are looking at the Great Wave of Kanagawa by Katsushika Hokusai. It is an image so iconic, so deeply embedded in our global consciousness, that it is easy to forget how revolutionary, how utterly foreign it must have appeared to Western eyes when it first arrived on their shores. It is a moment of immense, terrifying power, captured with breathtaking simplicity. Observe the composition. The wave itself is the protagonist of this drama. It rises like a monstrous claw, its tendrils of foam reaching for the sky, poised to crash down upon the fragile fishing boats below. And yet, there is an elegance to its fury, a stylized grace in the curling forms and the deep Prussian blue pigment. In the distance, serene and diminutive, is Mount Fuji, the sacred heart of Japan, seemingly dwarfed by the awesome transient power of the ocean. This interplay between the permanent and the ephemeral, the grand and the small, is a cornerstone of Japanese philosophy. This woodblock print, part of the series 36 Views of Mount Fuji, represents the ukiyo-e style, the pictures of the floating world. Its flat planes of color, its bold outlines, and its dramatic perspective were a revelation. It offered a completely different visual language, one that would profoundly influence the Impressionist painters in Europe, who were captivated by its graphic dynamism. The Great Wave is exotic, not because it is imaginary, but because it presents a familiar force of nature through a profoundly different cultural and artistic lens, revealing a new and startling kind of beauty. Our journey now takes a sharp turn, away from the natural world and into the vast arid landscape of the human psyche. We find ourselves in the surrealist terrain of Salvador Dali's The Persistence of Memory. Here, time itself has lost its rigidity. Watches, the very symbols of mechanical precision and order, have gone soft. They melt and droop like sun-beaten cheese over a barren, dreamlike Catalonian coastline. This is not a world you can visit on a map. It is a world you can only enter through sleep or through the extraordinary mind of Dali. The atmosphere is one of profound stillness and silence, bathed in an eerie, unsettling light. A solitary, monstrous creature, perhaps a distorted self-portrait of the artist, lies sleeping on the ground, a melting clock draped across its form. The few signs of life, ants swarming over one of the watches, a fly on another, seem to symbolize decay and the irrationality that gnaws at the edges of our consciousness. Dali famously claimed the vision came to him after observing camembert cheese melting in the sun, a mundane event that his paranoid critical method transformed into this iconic, unforgettable image. The exoticism here is purely psychological. Dali is not depicting a foreign place, but a foreign state of being. He paints the world as it feels in a dream, where logic dissolves and the familiar becomes unnervingly strange. He gives concrete, hyper-realistic form to the abstract concepts of time, memory, and the subconscious. It is a meticulously rendered photograph of a thought, a postcard from the uncanny valley of the mind. This painting forces us to question our own reality, to wonder what lies just beneath the surface of our waking, rational world. We now move to a place of intense, raw emotion, a landscape that vibrates with the artist's own spirit. We are under the swirling heavens of Venson Van Gogh's The Starry Night. Painted from his room in the Saint-Paul-de-Monceau Asylum in Saint-Rémy-de-Provence, this is not a placid, astronomical observation. It is a tempest of feeling, a direct connection to the cosmic forces as Van Gogh experienced them. The sky is not still. It is a turbulent ocean of energy, a celestial whirlpool of whites, yellows, and blues. Look at the brush strokes. They are not delicate or hidden, they are thick, powerful, and full of motion. You can trace the path of the artist's hand, feel the urgency and passion with which he applied the paint. The stars are not pinpricks of light, but blazing orbs of fire. The moon glows with an almost supernatural intensity. Below this dramatic celestial event, the village sleeps peacefully, its quiet order a stark contrast to the turmoil above. And rising up to connect the two realms, earth and sky, is the dark, flame-like form of a cypress tree, a traditional symbol of death and mourning, here seeming to reach for life. The exoticism of The Starry Night lies in its emotional honesty. Van Gogh painted not just what he saw, but what he profoundly felt. He broke free from the constraints of naturalistic representation to create a landscape of the soul. This was a radical departure, a new way of using color and form to convey inner turmoil, hope, and awe. It is a deeply personal vision, yet it speaks to a universal human experience. The feeling of being a small part of a vast, mysterious, and overwhelmingly powerful universe. It is a view from a window, but also a view into a heart. For our final destination, we step into a realm of pure opulence, a world that shimmers with gold and intricate patterns. We are in turn-of-the-century Vienna, before Gustav Klimt's portrait of Adele Bloch-Bauer. This is not merely a portrait of a woman, it is the creation of an icon, an empress reigning over a kingdom of pattern and precious metal. The subject, a Viennese socialite and patron of the arts, is almost subsumed by the magnificent gilded world that surrounds her and emanates from her very being. Klimt, inspired by the Byzantine mosaics he had seen in Ravenna, Italy, incorporated real gold and silver leaf into his oil painting. This technique elevates the work from a simple representation to a precious object in its own right. The background, her chair, and her dress dissolve into a single glittering tapestry of swirling motifs, spirals, and eye-like symbols drawn from Egyptian and Mycenaean art. Only her face, shoulders, and hands emerge from this golden cocoon, rendered with a delicate, realistic sensuality that contrasts sharply with the flat, decorative abstraction of her attire. The exoticism of this piece is one of dazzling synthesis, It blends East and West, ancient and modern, realism and abstraction, fine art and decorative craft. It is a portrait that feels both intensely intimate in the gentle gaze of Adele and monumentally divine, like a modern Byzantine Madonna. The sheer, shimmering richness of the surface creates an otherworldly effect, transporting the viewer into a gilded dream space, a sanctuary of beauty and wealth. It is a testament to an era of immense artistic innovation, a golden vision from a golden age. From the fantastical chaos of Bosch to the golden serenity of Klimt, we have traversed worlds. We have witnessed the power of a Japanese wave, felt the fluidity of Dali's time, and stood in awe under Van Gogh's turbulent sky. Each painting, a unique species of human creativity, offers a different flavor of the exotic. They remind us that art is not just a reflection of our world, but a portal to countless others, each with its own rules, its own climate, and its own breathtaking beauty. The power of these works lies in their ability to show us something new, to challenge our perspective and expand our understanding of what is possible. These 5 masterpieces are but a few specimens from the vast, unexplored wilderness of art history. The concept of the exotic is, of course, personal. It is a feeling of wonder and discovery that is unique to each of us. What one person finds familiar, another may find wonderfully strange. The true beauty of art is this ongoing conversation between the creator's vision and the viewer's perception, a dialogue that spans centuries and crosses every border imaginable. And so, my question to you is, which of these worlds captivated you the most? Which painting did you find to be the most profoundly exotic? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I would be fascinated to hear your perspective. And if you wish to continue these expeditions into the wild and wonderful territories of art, do consider subscribing and joining our community of explorers. There are always new discoveries waiting just around the corner. Thank you for joining me.